Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Raise podcast. So today is a bit of an impromptu one for Natalie and I because we had a guest that cancelled, but we put out a question box for you guys. So today we're going to answer some of your questions that you have sent in for us.
Okay.
So should we actually talk a little bit about what we've been up to
Like
recently?
a life update.
Yeah.
Yeah, shall we? Yeah. What's there to update? We've just got back from Mykonos last week.
We have just about recovered. So for Natalie and I, it's all about balance, wouldn't you say? No, we're not too bad. But we did drink on holiday. We don't normally drink that much and we had a lot of fun.
We had a lot of fun and then spent the rest of the week tired and exhausted, didn't we?
And questioning our life choices.
Literally. And that's the last time we probably will now for the rest of the year.
Yeah, exactly. And then what else have we been up to? So Gus, who is my brother and Natalie's husband, he's doing okay at the moment. We get a lot of questions about how he's doing. He's okay at the moment, isn't he, health-wise?
Yeah, we've got a lot kind of appointments coming up, waiting to hear back from a lot of things. So just riding the wave, aren't we?
Yeah, and you also had a diagnosis for Aria, didn't you, last week?
Yes, so Aria has been confirmed as having sleep apnea, which I'd suspected for quite a while because she stops breathing in the night. And they confirmed that they want to take out her tonsils and her adenoids, but that threw me quite a bit. Had a bit of a cry. I think I was just really thrown with, it's just brutal, isn't it? She's 3, It's just not something that I want to be doing. So we've kind of looked at some things that we can do in the meantime. We're seeing a homeopath and having kind of other conversations and things to see if there's anything else we can do. But it'll explain why I'm still very sleep deprived, and it's kind of like, okay, that is why she's still not sleeping.
Hopefully it'll make a difference.
Yes, it will.
In the long run.
Yeah, so that's going on. So yeah, it kind of felt a bit heavy actually last week. When you're just like dealing with a lot.
Yeah.
It kind of felt a bit, I think I said to you, didn't I? I was like, it's just...
Life be life.
Life be life-in.
But here we are again, another week, talking to you guys. So yeah, we just had an amazing guest on. That was a really good conversation, but we'll jump into some of your questions now. And I think we're going to start with, because we get asked this all the time, but what I liked about this question is it wasn't generally this listener asked, what 4 vitamins would you prioritize if budget was tight? So this is really hard because we take a lot of different supplements and vitamins, but as Natalie and I, we had a bit of a discussion beforehand so that we could agree on our top 4. And the thing is, I think there's different seasons in life, and obviously you might go through periods where you need extra support or you might just have the bare minimum. And I think these 4 supplements were the kind of our bare min.
They're our constant daily go-tos. It's like that you always fall back to.
Yeah.
So the first is trace minerals.
Yeah.
Which we add to our water. Is that you put yours in your water?
I do.
Well?
I have trace mineral drops. Again, it's just such an easy thing to incorporate. You can give it to your kids, whether you put it in their drinks and their smoothies. Yeah. Honestly, I put it in my girls' water bottles and I'll just put like 2 drops in.
Me too, even for the school water bottles. Yeah.
Exactly. And they don't taste it. But actually, as we were just discussing on the previous episode, basically your body needs minerals more than it needs anything else, and it won't work properly if it is mineral deficient. Yeah. So it's a super cheap, super easy, but super efficient
way
to help you and your children. So 100%, I think even if you could only do one, I'd start with minerals. Trace minerals. And obviously you can get minerals and salt as well, but I just think there's something for me about adding the drops in. It's like I know they're getting the complete.
And because it's kind of feels secret. It's like there's no... it's like, especially for the kids, well, because Tara used to notice it initially, but now she doesn't. So it just feels really satisfying to be like, okay, you're putting it in, and they don't have to physically take anything, do they?
No,
so it makes
and
it so much
and the thing
easier.
is, our soil is now so deficient in minerals, so it really is depleted. So, it's definitely something I would 100% start with.
So number 2,
I think it would have to be magnesium for me. Again, because I've heard that basically other vitamins and minerals won't be able to work properly in your body if you are deficient in magnesium, and so many of us are deficient in magnesium. So I actually personally take one from Happy Mammoth because it contains the whole, it's like completely bioavailable, and it contains all the different 5 magnesiums. So for
Amazing.
me, yeah,
Magnesium.
yeah, and I give it to Ali as well. So yeah,
Okay.
Happy Mammoth 1 for me is the best.
So for me, while we're talking about Happy Mammoth, I actually love their Hormone Harmony ones.
Oh yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
just like helps balance my hormones. I just feel like I need that every month.
Honestly as well. So someone came to me recently and they were saying that they had problems with their periods and they started taking, they think they're
Hormone Harmony.
perimenopausal, and they were taking Hormone Harmony. It's made such a difference.
Really?
Yeah, it's literally mad.
Okay,
So,
well, yeah, I'll keep taking it then.
so yeah, number 2 magnesium, and then we'll
Yeah.
secretly slip in the Hormone Harmony.
And then number 3 would be beef organ capsules.
Yes, desiccated beef
Yeah.
organs. Again, because basically beef organs or organ meat in general is really the most nutrient dense food on the planet that is actually recognised by our body because it's not synthetic.
Nature's multivitamin, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's like it contains everything that your body needs.
Yeah, and also what I quite like as well with the organs is they say that if you have, say if you have a problem with your liver, take
Liver.
it's specifically for your liver,
Yeah.
or you would have a problem with your brain. Some people would eat brain. So yeah, I think I quite like the way that
Yeah.
you can kind of take whatever you need the help
Yeah.
with.
And I feel like we've been
It makes
taking that for
sense,
quite a
doesn't
few
it?
years now,
Yeah.
haven't we?
But that's an absolute
And
go-to for me.
Yeah.
100%. And another thing, if you want to give that to your kids, you can add it to like pasta sauce, can't you?
Yeah.
Or you can add
Sneak
it
it
to
into
smoothies.
smoothies,
Exactly.
which you do with the girls, isn't
Yeah,
it?
exactly.
Yeah.
And then number 4, I mean, we are both getting older, so I'm not going to lie.
Collagen.
Yes, collagen is another absolute go-to.
Oh my God, I literally, I take it every single day without fail.
So which collagen do you take?
Ingenious.
Oh my God, literally, I am obsessed with theirs. It's so good because basically so many collagens that, you can get them in like liquid form and everything. But this one in particular literally will get to the part of your gut. So they've got these, it's like a patented capsule and it arrives to the part of your gut where it is
needs
meant.
it.
Yeah.
And collagen is so good for gut health as well. It's
and skin
literally-
health. Like I feel like it's an
all
absolute
of
game
it.
changer
Yeah.
for your skin. So I would say they're our top 4 sneaky 5 one with the
100%.
Hormone Harmony
Yeah.
in there. But yeah, they're 100%. I would start with those personally. So what is the next question, Natalie?
Okay, why did you start the podcast?
Well, honestly, I think there's just nobody having these conversations.
Yeah.
That we had these questions and we felt like nobody was talking.
Like we would talk and have these
Yes.
conversations together, and there was no one that you could really listen to or talk to, because especially some of the topics of conversation can be quite controversial, and I think
It's
especially
hard.
before, like there's a lot of shame, or not shame, sorry, but people aren't very open, or they weren't very open, I think, previously.
Well,
So
I
we
think it was
felt a bit more
COVID.
isolated.
I
Yeah.
think during COVID as well, there was 2 sides, weren't there, really?
Yeah.
And a lot of people were getting censored. So there was a lot of fear, especially on social media, that you couldn't speak openly about certain
Yeah.
topics.
Yeah.
And then recently, I think with what's happened in America and with Meta, they've actually lowered the censorship. So before you would literally be like shut down and, you wouldn't be, your Instagram would be closed down, or your post wouldn't be shared, it'd be taken down. Whereas now they've actually lowered the censorship on Meta. So I think people are now able to have a lot more kind of free speech when it comes to certain topics of conversation, which I
Yeah.
think is quite helpful for us on the Raise podcast. So we really wanted to, the whole concept really is raising the questions, and we felt like these conversations just weren't happening, and
Yeah.
we felt like who else can you talk to? We had each other,
Yeah.
but we would get messages from people
Yeah.
asking us for our advice, and I have so many people asking my opinion, or whether I chose to do vaccinate my kids, or
Yeah.
certain topics that people wouldn't feel comfortable talking about with their friends. So the fact that we're now able to share these conversations, people are now able to feel like, okay, I'm not on my own.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important.
100%. And I think we've been in this for a fairly long time.
Yeah.
That we feel like confident enough now to have and hold space for these conversations, because
Totally.
we're so confident in our decisions and
why we
and
made-
why we're doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
And it's such a, like, we feel so proud of some of the conversations that we get to share with you guys,
Yeah.
because the nuggets of wisdom that we're even learning on this, but the fact that we get to share a lot of, and people are telling us that it's changing their perspective and changing their lives.
And we're getting so
way,
many thank you messages, which is just incredible.
Yeah. So we're just grateful that we get to even hold this space.
And that this has become our job, you know, that we actually get to interview these guests and learn so much.
Yeah.
It's really incredible, isn't it? But I think there's a lot of these conversations, or more of these conversations, happening in America.
Yeah.
Like I felt like I knew where to look for these conversations, but they might have come across as a bit more woo-woo, but we just wanted to make it a little bit more mainstream for you guys.
Yeah.
You know, we're just two mums with kids living a, you know, semi-normal life, dressing in a normal way, but talking about home education and talking about alternative, or things that may seem alternative, but we just want to make them more mainstream because we don't think that they should be alternative. So there you go. That is a little bit about why we started the podcast. So question number 3. Oh, what skincare do you use morning and evening? Oh, this is hard. This is really hard. I was saying to you on the way up, wasn't I? I feel like I have a makeup. So a lot of the time, the majority of the time, I'd say 90% of the time, I don't wear makeup. But then I have different skincare for when I'm wearing makeup and then when I'm not wearing makeup. But I think there's certain products that I will use that are absolute must-haves. Like we were saying, vitamin C, like a good vitamin C.
It's like
is a
the
must.
CSA method.
That's Medicaid, isn't it?
Yeah,
they say.
So it's like vitamin C, SPF, and then retinol, like a vitamin A.
True.
Yeah.
Can I just say though, I'm actually not a big believer in SPF in general. Like I don't think
on our bodies.
No, but I don't think we should be blocking out the sun.
No.
But because I've had quite a lot of laser treatments and things which because it's kind of refreshing the skin on my face, I suppose, it'd be dangerous for me to have sun exposure on my face. So the only reason I use SPF on my face is because of these procedures that I've had. But actually, I don't wear SPF on my body because I think it's really important that we get the vitamin D. And to me, it just doesn't make sense why we should be avoiding the sun.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you wear SPF every day on your face?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And so for example, today I've just put like an SPF serum on, so it's a bit lighter. But if I'm going to be out in in Mykonos, for example, I would do an SPF serum, moisturize, and then put an actual proper SPF and wear a visor because if I'm in direct sun, I'm like super, but again, only on my face.
So vitamin C, essential.
Yeah. We use retinol at night.
Yeah.
Every night.
Do you?
Yeah, not every night because when I was speaking to Sophie, who she was basically saying you shouldn't use it every single night.
Oh.
She was saying that you should have breaks in between, so do it like a couple of times a week, especially if you're using tretinoin, which is like the medical grade retinol, which I get from her. You shouldn't use it every night.
Yeah, I've heard that's quite strong.
Yeah, it's really strong. But because I've had sundown,
is that how you get this glow? CPG.
No, so it's a collagen. It's a bit of everything. It's a collagen as well.
All that bone broth.
Yeah, 100%. The bone broth.
That's the skincare. That is actually the elite
that's so
form
true.
of skincare, isn't it?
That is so true, actually. It's the glow from within. What did someone say or not? Do you remember on that reel that we did?
Oh, is it the beef tallow? Oh, what was it?
No, it was something about the beef glow.
Grass-fed glow.
Grass-fed glow.
Yeah, thanks, Larice, for that.
It was the grass-fed glow. Exactly. There you go. But that is so
skincare.
true. We did a post on that, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
About eating your skincare. I honestly believe that is so true.
I do,
well.
but I also do. Over the years, so I actually only got into skincare because of you. Because before, I remember back in the day of using coconut oil and apple cider vinegar as my only form of skincare, and I wondered why my skin wasn't looking all
Like
great.
No,
it just wasn't working at the time, because I was kind of it's so hard, isn't it? I think navigating this area where we know that these certain products aren't that great, but it's they're the ones that kind of are doing the job at the minute. It's this, I don't know.
It's a really difficult place to be in. And I think that's why there's an element as well where I say I have days where I have no makeup days where I honestly will only put natural products on my skin. So my go-to, I love Tata Harper, for example. She has her own farm and she literally sources the ingredients from her own farm. So for me, I know
their
that
eye cream
only
is incredible. That's literally actually one of my goats.
Yeah, they're really good. I even let my kids
amazing.
use Ava uses some Tata Harper products because I totally trust them.
Yeah.
So there's certain days where I'm going to just be fully natural, use beef tallow on my body.
Yeah.
or just go for a more natural alternative. But then when I know I'm wearing makeup, then I know I want my makeup to sit differently. Or if I want to use particular actives. So if I've like been away and I feel like my skin needs a bit more loving, then there's certain. But a new thing I'm really getting into is copper peptides. OMG. So good.
So like as a serum?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's this brand that I work with actually called Neod. And I've been using their products for a while. But it's like a blue...
Not another thing to add to the bloody 12-step skincare regime.
Well, even when we were away, one of the girls was saying that she forgot her skincare and she literally used the soap in the room to wash her face.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And I was like... I was almost slightly jealous of that because I was like, her skin actually still looks really good. And I was like, I'm just buying into this whole thing, but I also love it as well. Especially when you find products that you do notice the difference.
Yeah,
like, I
and
feel
that's
like
what I was
peptides
going to
really,
say is that when I started using certain skincare and I could see the visible difference, like my skin is as good as it probably ever has been.
Yeah. I think one of the products that made a huge difference to you as well was the Ren AHA, like the toner. Because it's quite strong, isn't it? But I feel like that gives such a glow.
Yeah.
So I'll often use that before I've got like an event or something. You want that really flawless. It's almost like it exfoliates all the kind of stuff off your face.
I've actually started using this new skincare brand called Herbal Face Food. And it's the world's first plant-based edible like skincare. So you can put it on your kids, like if you want to. It's honestly like actually really powerful. I think their eye cream has 200 like plant botanicals in it. Wow. Like, you know, it's like organic, wild crafted. So in terms of, there definitely are really good options, aren't there, on the market that we can start using.
I think they're getting so much better as well, aren't they? It's not like, I remember when I used to go in Infinity Foods, which is like a health food store, and there would literally only be, there was like Dr. Hauschka, Weleda, like which by the way, I love all of those brands and still literally swear by Weleda Skin Food.
Oh my God, yeah.
Love Weleda. And even Dr. Hauschka, I feel like they're the OGs of natural skincare. But now there are so many more products coming out there with certain actives and everything as well, because you don't want to compromise, do you? Let's face it. Like, we want both. We want to be able to know and trust the products that we're putting on our skin. You know, if you wouldn't eat it, they say you shouldn't put it on your skin.
Exactly.
But, you know, sometimes we compromise, don't we? We pick our poison, basically.
And in this season, right now, we're
very poisonous. We're toxic.
We're loving the actives.
Yeah, we are. Need that extra support. Okay. With skincare, beauty product that you can't live without. I think we've kind of touched on that, haven't we? Beauty product, would you say that they're beauty products, aren't they? I think skincare is pretty good. Health hacks for children.
So there's actually quite a few, isn't there? So I'm just trying to think of ones that I always fall back to.
Yeah, and because I think the question was talking about ones that are affordable as well, aren't they?
So I think a really easy one is like Epsom salt baths and clay baths.
And magnesium baths.
Magnesium flakes. Like, that is such a quick and easy, fairly cheap way of, you can do that literally like,
So you could do the Epsom salt bath to help detoxify. Yeah. And then you can put the magnesium in to supplement them with magnesium because obviously some kids won't take supplements. But because it's really well absorbed through your skin, it's such an easy way to get that magnesium into your kids as well, isn't it? Because they're not going to notice it in the bath, are they?
Yeah. You can put bentonite clay in. Actually, it's really interesting because one of our guests said about adding that in, and it's something that I've always done for the kids. They say especially like during winter, and if the child isn't feeling well, put some bentonite clay in. And it's just kind of like, you can make it fun and be like, it's a mud bath, you know.
It helps to draw the toxins out.
And it just helps draw the toxins out. And I think that's really, it's just such a good little health hack, isn't it?
100%. And then another one has to be rebounding, I would say, because it's so friggin' fun. Yeah. You can get rebounders or mini trampolines, super cheap. I just stick a song on for them and they just jump around. But that, to get their lymphatic system going, is so good. And
they say it's really good for nervous system regulation as well. And that's why I first bought one for Tara, because I was like, she can just bounce away, but it's actually just doing her system some good. It's kind of like grounding her.
That's so true. Yeah. So that's really good.
And you don't have to make a demand out of it. Like, if it's there, they tend to just get drawn to it. And my kids will just kind of like be doing something, they'll walk past, jump, even if it's for like 30 seconds a minute, and kind of go on to the next thing. You know, it doesn't have to become.
Well, I
if
think
it's
with kids as well, if you make it a bigger thing,
Exactly.
they're almost they
Yeah.
kind of have it has the opposite effect, doesn't
Yeah.
it? So
Yeah.
that's so true.
And then what other health hacks are there?
I mean, there's the obvious one of
Like-
being outside and being
Yeah,
in nature, like
nature.
sun exposure to some
Yeah.
extent, being grounding, taking their shoes off when they're outside,
Going
not
into
being
the
afraid of
forest
mud.
as well.
I think
yeah.
we're also afraid of kids being dirty, and actually for their microbiome, for their skin health, for their overall health, it's
Yeah.
so important to let kids get dirty,
Yeah, that's so true.
you know, and just the grounding element of being among the trees.
Yeah.
That's another, again, free
Yeah.
health hack for you guys.
It is.
So I hope those ones are helpful. Have you got any more?
No, I was just thinking. I was like,
I mean,
other
I feel
than
like we've got so
smoothies,
many.
Yeah, I think smoothies in terms of like
Hiding stuff.
hiding stuff is like a perfect.
As in, we
hack, and
mean like
that's easy.
hiding supplements, by the
Yeah.
way, or hiding ingredients, or even like you use the raw milk ice cream.
Yes,
it's a really
we
good
make
one
our
to
own
add
ice
things.
cream, and that's just it's just the little swaps, isn't it, that you can do.
Oh, in fact, that leads us on to another question,
About
which
eating.
was, if you were starting from scratch, what would you do for families with bad food habits?
Okay,
So
well,
that could even,
smoothies,
yeah,
100%. If you can incorporate smoothies, that's something that's, I think, because we used to have a smoothie bar, we've always been able or kind of had that with the kids.
because you can add so much in.
So much in.
I mean, the only problem with that for people, though, I would say, is that it can get expensive. So if you're adding all these ingredients,
but you
just
can
pick
even
and
do a
choose.
basic, you know, even like as a basic fundamental, like if you're, so Tara she's got ARFID, so she's particularly fussy.
True.
So for fussy kids, I think even if you do a good like fruit-based smoothie,
But with raw milk,
then
for
add
example.
raw milk and avocado, like I put frozen avocado in.
So at least she's getting
It's
some
just
fats.
something else. And then even if you're just
The trace
putting
minerals.
the trace minerals, like you can do it still quite
Yeah, true. I
cheap.
think
You
I'm
don't
just
need to
thinking of
add
all.
all, you know, we do because we have that in our house. But I think even if you don't need all these expensive supplements, you can add like flax seeds or, you know, there's like other little things that you can add
Yeah,
in.
that's true.
I actually add Happy Mammoth's gut repair powder into our smoothies
Oh,
because
yeah,
it's
you
like a
do.
vanilla collagen powder.
Okay.
And
Well,
it's
could
just-
tell the listeners a little bit about what happened with Tara's gut and how that's actually helped.
Yeah, so Tara, because of her diet, and because she's autistic, she has a real strong aversion to going to the toilet. So she withholds. And there was a particular period of time, I think it was 16 days, that she went without going to the toilet. And it's, you know, sometimes it's 11 days. It was just becoming a really tricky thing. So I started putting the gut repair. You told me about the gut repair powder. I started adding it into her smoothies, and she started going way more frequently. I think I remember saying to
That's
you, didn't
mad,
I? I was
isn't
like,
it?
it's just, made such. And also, it's just knowing that whilst there's other things going on that I can't control, the things that I can, and by putting that powder, I know that it's it's doing good on the inside.
Good.
It's doing something. So I just love it. And I add that even, so
Because
when
it's
we
vanilla,
make,
it actually tastes really
yeah,
nice
it's
as well,
actually
doesn't
really
it?
tasty.
Yeah.
She loves putting it in. And with leftover smoothies, we make ice lollies. I just put them into ice lolly molds. So then it's kind of like ice creamy. You can just add these little things in.
I think that's the secret, isn't it? It's we've been conditioned over the years that kids are supposed to have treats.
Yeah.
So whether that be an ice cream or, whatever that is.
Yeah.
So if you can switch the treats up,
Yeah.
so like you say, make your own ice lollies
Yeah.
or ice cream,
Yeah.
that is such a good sneaky way
Yeah.
to kind of condition your child into not thinking that.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, it's such a shame that healthy eating is kind of made as restrictive.
Yeah.
It's sold as being restrictive, isn't it? And I think you don't want to feed that into your kids.
And you can make these really tasty alternatives.
Yeah.
That's so much better for you, you know, even like using honey or maple syrup instead of, you know, sugar and all these other things. Like
Ava's obsessed with baking at the moment, but she'll use like cassava flour instead. So
yeah.
she'll find the recipes for a regular lemon drizzle, for example, but she'll use maple syrup and cassava flour and things that are just healthier alternatives that aren't having like an inflammatory effect on her body.
Yeah.
So I think I personally know if I was to start all over again, I would just try and make the switches of the things that you're kids are already used to.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just go in all guns blazing because one, it's not fair on them.
Yeah.
And two, they're probably going to reject most of the things that you try and give them. So
Yeah.
it's just making the switches, I would say.
Yeah.
And even things like for pasta, you know,
gonna
rather
say,
than
yeah.
or breads, try and switch to like a really good sourdough, or
Yeah.
there's like keto options if you're trying to remove gluten and wheat.
Yeah.
I personally, if it was me, I wouldn't go for like gluten-free options because they're often just made
Not
with
very
just
nice.
as much. Well, they're not nice, but they're also made with just as much shit.
Yeah.
And they're sold as being
Yeah.
a healthier option when they're not. So you
My
get a good quality.
favourite
Go on.
pasta swap,
Yeah.
because is the Biona organic spelt pasta. It's literally the best alternative to pasta. So if anyone's looking to swap, I would.
Okay.
It literally.
I like buckwheat. I feel like buckwheat's are good.
Buckwheat is good. Yeah, we use
And
buckwheat.
brown rice.
Brown rice pasta as well. Yeah.
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 Again, better. Or if you want to go fully not animal based but paleo, then they do a cassava flour pasta. You can get cassava flour pasta as well.
I haven't tried cassava flour pasta.
I'm not gonna lie,
It's a
it's
bit
not.
like- I can't imagine.
It's not as good, but because I do not.
I mean, I don't eat the.
No.
It's more for the girls. You know,
Yeah,
for the kids,
true.
it's like I buy the alternatives and swap them because that's all Tara eats.
Yeah, true.
So I have
you
to
need
like
to have-
mix it up instead of just giving her white pasta. I'll buy. Yeah.
But for me, for example, say if I'm like, even last week when I was really tired after making us,
Go on.
I just wanted friggin' pasta. So I had the cassava flour pasta because
Ah.
even though I know it's not, what you need to do in this situation, by the way, is not think I am having and compare it to normal pasta, because let's face it, it's not going to taste like normal pasta, but it's still that comforting, quick, easy, you know, and I just had some Parmesan with it and loads of butter.
The best.
Banging.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's still just filling that comfort
100%.
hole,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And it's the same in my head with like keto bread as well. So I get the Dylan organic keto bread sometimes and toast that. And you can have that with like, I do like honey and bee pollen if I just want something really quick. And again, I'm never going to think I'm having a piece of toast because it's not going to taste like that. But it's just that feeling of having like a crunch,
Yeah.
you know, and that kind of more wholesome, or with scrambled eggs or avocado.
Yeah.
And then you're not getting the inflammatory effects
Yeah.
of the gluten.
Yeah. I think
wheat.
another good way to look at it as well is like, if you're struggling with bad habits, obviously try and like look at and remove what you know and what you can. But the best reframe is, what can I add in?
So true.
It's like, okay, this is what we're eating and these are our favorite meals, but what can you add in that makes it so much better? Like more fruit, more meat, you know, whatever that looks like.
Yeah.
I think it's just like reframing it, isn't it? Because otherwise it can become a bit
restriction.
negative and become something that's more stressful than it needs to be.
Yeah.
If you add more of what you know is good.
But I think as well, what's crazy is this conversation of what's good, because I know even when I started animal based, it felt like I was eating really unhealthy foods because I'd been
I was like
raised.
steak, butter, cream, all these things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'd been raised to think it was like low
Yeah.
fat, you know, just eat healthy eating was like just eating salads,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Whereas all of a sudden I was having these really tasty, rich foods like steak, butter,
Yeah.
maple syrup,
Yeah.
loads of fruit with cream,
Yeah.
all these things that are so friggin' tasty. And it felt like it was almost wrong.
wrong.
But actually the nutrients in all of these
It's that
foods,
unlearning, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's actually
what's actually healthy.
Right.
And
Yeah.
butter's one of the best things they say, especially if you're pregnant, butter's one of the best things you can have
I wish
because
I'd
of
have known that. I
I
eat
know.
so much butter now. Like, why?
But it also kills me. I say this all the time, that I wish I knew when I was pregnant so much what
Me
I know now.
too.
And even in the previous podcast we were talking with Adam, if you are pregnant or you have young children,
Yeah.
please read Nourishing Traditions by Sally Fallon, because that book changed my whole perspective on food,
Yeah.
nutrition, how
Yeah.
we view food, you know, eating in general, because it's about putting in rather than taking
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
And it just makes so much sense. It's how we've evolved,
Yeah.
you know?
Taking it back to how we used to live
Yeah.
and consume food.
It's like the meat and two veg of how
Yeah.
people grew up. And now you go into a supermarket or even to like Boots or somewhere, and you have all these things that are greenwashing, telling you,
Manufactured,
all these bars that are just full of sugar and shit.
It's taking it back to the farm, isn't it? It's like everything on like the book and stuff. It's very much like bones, you know, bone broth, meat,
Yeah.
cream, things all that come from like that you would
That
get
would have
from
been
the farm.
available
that
to
you
us.
would have
And
had.
does that not make sense?
Yeah.
It's like we've said this numerous times
Yeah.
before, but if your great grandmother
Yeah.
wouldn't recognize it, you shouldn't be eating it.
Yeah.
Like half of this food isn't food.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. We went off a little bit then, didn't we?
We did. It was a bit of like, both of us are getting really
Loved it, like,
passionate.
Okay, so what's next?
What else have we got? Beauty
Oh,
mode.
supplements for kids.
I feel like
We
we kind of
covered
touched
that.
on that a little bit. So I'd say 100% trace minerals, easy to add in. Again, quite similar to ours, really, because we would add the trace minerals into a smoothie.
Yeah.
I would, the beef organs, another really good one.
Like sprinkle those
Magnesium,
in.
put it in their bath.
Yeah.
Or I like, what's the brand? Mighty Kids supplements.
Yes.
Is it Mighty
Mighty
Kids?
B? Is it Mighty? What is it?
No, what?
No. What are we talking about? What are you talking about? What do
Are they
you
called
mean?
Mighty Kids supplement, the liposomal?
Yeah, I know, but I
Are
can't.
they called Mighty Kids?
Mighty Kids, aren't they? Isn't it?
Is it?
Mighty Kids. I
Oh
think.
my God. We'll put it in the show notes, guys.
Clearly both on our periods, can't think.
Yeah, also we are, just a disclaimer today, we both come on at the same time. Basically they have a magnesium, they also have a liposomal vitamin C, and they have a liposomal multivit.
Do your girls take them?
They do, they don't really like the taste.
That's why I haven't bought it for Tara,
for you,
because I'm like,
no.
I know she
but
wouldn't.
My kids are quite
like
easy,
that,
yeah.
yeah.
Especially Ava,
No, they're
she'll
meant to
just
be
take
really
it. They're
good.
really good.
Yeah.
And even Kerry, one of our best friends, was away recently. She forgot to take them. And she said that her daughter, she noticed a difference in her behaviour when she was away and she hadn't been having particularly the magnesium. And then she said once she started taking it when she got back, she noticed that she levelled out again. I know, which is mad, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
I mean, whether that be a placebo or not, I feel like...
No, but there's meant to be a big correlation between behaviour and like
particularly magnesium,
yeah.
100%. And I think as well, I just think, why not with
100%.
half of these things? And also the reviews on these products have been amazing
Really
as well.
good.
I've read really good reviews too. So it's not just us saying. I mean, talking about periods, what product would you use for your child starting a period? I would personally always opt for organic products because that area of your body is extremely absorbent and you don't want to be putting bleach and chemicals literally going straight into their bloodstream. So always try and go for, like, I use a brand called Yoni and their pads are all organic. So I give those to my daughter. And or period pants as well as another good option.
Well, that's what I was going to say, because I'm not there yet. Like, my kids are too young, but I've thought about it because especially with Tara, I know that that's potentially going to be quite a difficult scenario for us. And I was like, gosh, how are we going to manage that with her and her sensories? But period pants, I think, and it just makes sense. I often wear period pants, especially at night, because I have a really heavy flow. And I love them. And I just think for teenagers or when they're starting, I think it's a really easy way to... And I don't know whether period cups could be a really good alternative, but I don't know whether at that age whether they
might not feel as
not.
confident as well.
That might be a bit later on.
But if you're going to go with pads, please try and use organic where possible. Honestly, it's really important. Whilst
you're
we're talking
about toilet paper,
because it's actually mad, like, that toilet paper has been bleached. So you're literally on one of the most sensitive absorbent parts of your body using bleach. So please, it really is. So we opt for like a bamboo option. Again, really, I would try and make that switch if possible. Okay, then we'll go on to, someone asked, what would you take if you had a chronic skin condition? So Natalie, you had quite severe psoriasis, didn't you?
And I didn't realise at the time that it was connected to my gut health. And that's the first thing that I think you should look at, is focusing on nourishing your gut and healing and repairing your gut. So I used to, like, collagen is amazing. That's initially, I had a stomach ulcer and a lot of kind of like digestive issues when I was a bit young, like, I don't know how many years ago.
It makes sense now, doesn't it? That was related to then your skin issues.
Yeah. And I didn't realise at the time that correlation, which is just mad. But when I started healing my gut, that's when my psoriasis cleared up. So collagen was really good. That's why I started taking collagen kind of initially. And Manuka honey is really good for internal healing. And then bone broth, and all of those things like diet and stuff, isn't it?
Fermented foods.
But yeah,
all the goodness.
Yeah.
But what we were discussing, we were talking about this on the train as well. I think if you are on a journey to heal your gut, then I think it's really important to start with your diet. So I would personally start healing my gut by taking out inflammatory foods if possible. So things like the most inflammatory are refined sugars. I would
like
personally,
UPFs.
ultra processed food. So if it comes and it's got loads of different ingredients that you can't pronounce, basically take that shit out of your diet. But I know things like bread and
gluten,
pasta, gluten, they're so inflammatory and they can then cause leaky gut in your body. So you can go on a healing gut journey and add all these things in, but if you're then still eating,
consuming the food,
then it's not going to work. So I would personally start by taking the stuff out, and then once you've removed those from your diet, then add in the goodness to then re-heal your gut. So for example, Gus, my brother, he started doing an autoimmune protocol, so it's called the AIP diet, which is really restrictive, but he's worked on healing his gut. And then from there, so basically because it's been so restrictive, he's taken all the things that could trigger inflammation within his body. He did that for 6 weeks. He's actually carried on with it, hasn't he? But then from there, then you can then reintroduce things and see how your body reacts to them.
And see if you're sensitive to anything, because if there's an issue in your gut, you need to it's like figuring out what the root cause of it, like what is causing that. It must be like, so look at your diet as the first thing.
Yeah, because and the thing is, guys, we are all so different. So what might suit Natalie or what might suit me might not suit you. So you have to look at these things individually. So for example, the fact that Gus did this AIP diet means that he was able to figure out what triggered him, because what triggers him might not trigger you. So we can say cut these things out, but you might be able to tolerate them. We've all grown up in different, or evolved from different parts of the planet. Our blood types are different. There's so many different factors and varying factors. Our parents ate different foods, our mothers ate different foods, so our bodies are made up of different things. So you really need to figure out what works for you. So things like an AIP diet are amazing because you can
just pinpoint and figure out what's going on a deeper level. And then from there reintroduce the healing foods that will then nourish and help to heal your gut. So 100%. I think all skin conditions, they say, are connected to your gut. So just worth looking at that.
So we can talk about all these products to put on your skin, but really, guys, we need to start with the gut. Someone asked about our typical day of eating. Well, I feel like we talk a lot about what we eat, but guys, we do also, I am going to do a little, we do have a meal plan. So if you want to, on our website, honestly, and it's actually incredible. Like we break down shopping lists, everything. So head over to our Rosa website and you can
look at it there.
And find out exactly what we eat in a day. But we do we share a lot on our Instagrams as well, what we eat in a day. But we always...
Do you know what? I'm a creature of habit. Like most weeks I eat the same food and the same meals. Like I have my just go-tos, and...
You're like a yogurt girl in the morning, aren't you?
Full fat Greek yogurt in the morning, but the best combo is like frozen blueberries with honey and like pumpkin seeds and almonds. Honestly, there's something about the I've had it probably every day this year. Like near enough, other than when we were on a holiday.
Yeah, when you're on holiday. Oh, that was someone asked us, didn't they? What do we eat on holiday?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because usually what I do is I'd have that for breakfast, because I know you like an omelette usually first, but I'm a lunch for omelette. Lunch for omelette? I'm an omelette for lunch. Do you know what I mean? So I have the yogurt and then I have the omelette and then for dinner. But omelets on holiday are just absolutely
so when because obviously there's so much temptation, I'd literally just stay away from pastry. I literally don't even look at it anymore. But omelets are such a good, quick, like everywhere has omelets.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong with like salt and cheese. It's just banging.
Yeah.
So we would definitely start our day with omelets on holiday. I mean, the thing is, I don't think I was quite controlling before. So when I first started animal based, I would ask them to prepare the food in a certain way. But I think when you're, for example, when we're in Mykonos, I'm not going to make, it's Ali's birthday, I'm not going to make like a really big fuss. If they're bringing out platters for everybody, I'm just going to embrace it because, I just want to enjoy. I don't want other people to go through that. We're away. I'm going to enjoy.
And it's still like the steak, it's
the
all
fish.
the fish, and you just can't control like.
It's hard, isn't it? Because I used to be like, can you cook this in butter?
Yeah,
but I'm not going to do that for everybody else, am I?
But still, it's not like you go away and you go, oh, I'm going to eat a pizza, please, and stuff.
No.
It's still
that makes
within,
it like, God, no.
It's still within the remits of like.
Yeah, like do you know what? I've now become like, I just don't even see bread, cereal, pasta as even, it just doesn't even come into my, so when I look at a menu,
I don't even look at those things. Yeah,
exactly. It was really hard
really
initially.
Ingrained, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's like the protein options, the fruit, the
food
salad.
That you enjoy. It's like, I don't look at these foods. It's not that we don't enjoy them. They're our favourite foods to eat.
Like, who doesn't enjoy a banging I mean, sorry if there's any vegans
butter,
listening. But like,
no, I don't know.
Steak and garlic.
I think they know you like the steak and the butter by now.
That's so true. Do we ever crave shit food
and crave chocolate and crisps?
I mean, I think we've spoken about this before, haven't we? But like, crisps are my kryptonite.
You love crisps, but there are now some better options.
Olive oil crisps.
So if they're cooked in olive oil, the ingredients
or coconut oil, and some you get in tallow now. Oh my God, I found these ones on Health, and they are, oh no, what are they called? I might even have to Google it. There's this they're like tallow tortilla chips.
I think did I try one?
Did I make you try them?
Yes, I think I tried them. Or did you give some to Gus? No, but Gus wouldn't have them. I can't remember. I feel like I've tried them.
Tortilla. They sell them on Health. OMG. What are they called? Masa. That's it. The ancient crunch. So they are, let me read out to you. The crunchy guilt-free snack made with organic. So they're made with corn, grass-fed tallow and sea salt. That is it.
Like the 3 ingredients.
Mate, so good.
But the olive oil, if it's potatoes, olive oil or coconut oil and salt, it's fine. It's kind of guilt-free. It doesn't really matter.
Exactly. So it's just finding
it's just finding the alternatives. And in terms of chocolate, I used to love chocolate. Like, I actually had like a really big sweet tooth. But now I found alternatives that
what
I like.
What are your favourite alternatives?
Well, I think you know what I'm going to say about
dates and butter.
No. I do love dates and butter, but the dark chocolate salted almonds are kind of like I honestly crave them. I can eat a whole bag. Honestly, they're like my naughty pleasure.
Sorry, we had a thing about that word. Your guilty pleasure.
My guilty pleasure. And they're not that bad. It's kind of like, that's fine. They were really good. If I feel like something's sweet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's nuts, the protein, the salt. I'm like, it's fine.
Yeah. True. Okay. What else have we got? Sorry, guys. By the way, really quickly, we literally, because we had a guest cancel, we had to go through the Q&A. So we've literally got these questions saved to our phone. So if we keep pausing and seem unprepared,
we've had no time to
prepare for this conversation.
Prep, so it's literally as we go.
Is there anything else we want to cover?
If you only had the capacity, energy, finance, capability for one health hack, what would it be, and what makes the most difference to you?
We were saying this, if we like had to leave at like 5:30, like, let's say if you're going on holiday, for example, and you have to leave to go to the airport, basically, I don't know how I'd wake up without body brushing. Like, it is literally before I get in the shower, even if it's a minute, I just have to body brush. And I think it's so good. One, because it just makes you feel so awake, but it's so good for your lymphatic system and circulation. Yeah. That's like my absolute,
I feel like it ticks all the boxes because it's cheap, it's quick, it's easy, and it has instant results. It's like if you want something that's fast, and you can feel the difference, I think that ticks
body
every
brushing.
Box. Yeah.
So true.
Yeah.
Every single day. That's like my one every single day.
Body brushing. Guys, it's nice and simple, isn't it?
Yeah, but I bet they want us to come up with something really exciting.
I know. I feel like we always say body brushing, but it's just if you're not doing it, it's just, if you do it, you'll get it.
Yeah. But I really enjoy these conversations, So I think we should start doing them more often. So guys, always DM us with any questions that you have, and we can cover more topics, get as juicy as you want.
Yeah, ask us anything. Oh,
I'm trying to raise my eyebrow.
Oh my God, please, I need a clip of that.
Anyway, on to the next one. We're going to wrap it up there.
We're going to wrap it up,
guys. We hope you've enjoyed this episode. And I'm really sorry if it felt a bit random and not prepared, because we just weren't prepared. We promise we'll be more prepared next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See ya. Bye.
But we'll see you next time. Thank you.